What's up, guys? I'm the Nearsighted Gamer. Thanks for coming to see me. What the heck's going on, man? We're knee deep in what I'm calling Delaygate 2020. A lot of the big spring games are getting delayed. Like last week was terrible. There were 4 huge games that got delayed. It just kept coming one after another. And we're going to talk about them and just cry a little bit. I'm just gonna cry a little bit. Okay, the first one I'm gonna talk about is one that is something that I'm not really that excited about, but it matters nonetheless. It's Marvel's Avengers. Marvel's Avengers was supposed to come out in May, and then it got delayed this past week to September. That's a huge jump. From May to September. People weren't really super excited about this. They were curious at best. So for it to go to September, a lot of people are saying that like this is good for this game because it wasn't looking too good and they weren't really explaining too well how the gameplay on this game was going to work. So maybe they should take more time, albeit several months, to really get this game working and work out how they want to announce it and how they want to convey it to the audience and like get some of the confusion taken care of. To make an Avengers game that's multiplayer is a feat in itself, and if they can pull it off, it'll be great. But I'm not interested to see it or play it, but it is something that is really talked about because it's been kicked around for years, and to finally announce a date and then delay it that much really says something. But hopefully that amount of time will be enough for the game to get better. Let's stick with Square for a little bit. This one is the one that I care about the most. Final Fantasy VII Remake, a game that has been talked about since I think 2015 or 2014, finally got a release date of May 3rd, 2020. And then this past week, they pushed the release date back to April 10th. Now, that's not a lot. That's just a month. And that's great. This is the one that got pushed back the least. But I was really looking forward to playing it. That was going to be my March game. Like, that's Deluxe Edition, all that, pre-ordered, still doing it. But I'll have to wait until April 10th to play it. This game has been talked about and rumored for so long that it finally existed. People saw trailer after trailer, and then like the more trailers we saw, the more content we saw about it, it looked so good. It looks like they're doing this game right. I don't think that there was a problem. They just want to make sure that this game is as good as it can be. And I'm cool with that because it doesn't look like they were fixing anything. It looks like they just want to make it just a little bit better. And I'm cool with them making it just a little bit better, especially since it's only going to take a little over a month to do so. I'm cool with that. Next, we're going to talk about Iron Man VR. Iron Man VR, obviously, is a VR title where you play as Iron Man. Duh. But it's something that came out of nowhere. It was announced in a state of play, and people were like, okay, this game came out of nowhere. And the way the trailer showed it, it made it look like it was an on-rails type game, which didn't seem that fun, especially for being Iron Man. Those games usually don't play well or review well. But after certain people, or a few people, went to live events and actually got to play it firsthand, they all came back talking about no. The whole on-rails thing, it's not true. It's more open world, as you know, the way you would be with Iron Man, flying around, enemies, fighting and all that. You have missions. It's apparently way better than everybody thought it was going to be. They just did a crappy job with the trailer. I don't know. See, that's one of the problems with VR games. In order for you to really see how it is, you have to experience it. You can show a trailer, but if it's an action game, experiencing it is the only way you're really going to know how the game is and really going to get the feel for it. So hearing that gave me a lot more hope for it, and I put it on my list of games that I really look forward to. And it got pushed back from February to May, which is a lot longer to wait, but it's not one that I'm in a huge hurry to play. It's just one that I'm actually interested in now, as opposed to being like, what? They made that? But when May comes around, I'll definitely pick it up. It just sucks that it got delayed and it wasn't able to hit its mark. Okay, let's talk about the big one, guys. Cyberpunk 2077 has been officially delayed from April 16th to September 17th. Yeah, that's a lot. A lot of people really got hurt by this one. Now, I care. I do care because the sheer scope of this game is amazing. Having CD Projekt Red take their skills that they used and put on display in The Witcher, an RPG like that, and taking it to this world and making an RPG like this with this futuristic setting where they can pretty much do what they want and not be tied down to the books or the story of The Witcher is very interesting, very, very interesting indeed. And it is something that I want to play, but oh man, that game is going to take forever. And when I got by September, I'm sure I'll have time to play it. But a lot of people were looking forward to playing it at the beginning of the year and getting it set up and seeing if it was going to be game of the year. Like, there's a couple of these games like Final Fantasy and Cyberpunk were definitely game of the year contenders, and they still are. And it sucks that people are going to have to wait this long now, because with these games being out of the way, Final Fantasy is still in April, but the other games have been moved to May. So now there's games like Animal Crossing, which is still in May, even though it did get delayed from November or fall, I believe, to March. So it was delayed to get here. And Doom Eternal, which also got delayed from last fall to here as well. So the games that are still here were delayed from last year, which is crazy. And also, real quick, The Last of Us Part 2 was supposed to come out in February, and it got delayed until May. What the heck is going on? Just the only thing I hope this doesn't have any, like, okay, games can get delayed, that's fine, but we have two consoles that are supposed to be coming out at the end of this year, the Xbox Series X and whatever else they're gonna bring out with it, and the PlayStation 5. Now, those are supposed to come out at the end of this year, with those games being, for example, not Avengers, but like with Cyberpunk being pushed back to September. That really says something about what does that mean for it in next gen, because a lot of people wondered if it was going to be a PlayStation 4 and a PlayStation 5 game. I'm just using PlayStation 4 and 5 for context, this gen and next gen game. But if it comes out that late in September, and then the PlayStation 5 and new Xbox come out in November, that's 2 months. That's really close. So I wonder what impact that's going to have on next gen as well. Are we going to have, like, have it be out on both? Is it going to debut with, and like when it comes out in September, they'll say also whenever the next gen console comes out, you're going to have a next gen version of it as well? That's yet to be seen. We don't know what impact this is going to have, but so many games are delayed. Like I said, we have games that were delayed into March and they're here now, and then we have games that were set in March and February and they're being delayed till May. Man, just, it's going to be great whenever we're in December, like, halfway through December 15th, and everything's out. All the games are out, the consoles are out, everybody can just play everything and look forward to 2021. Look back on 2020, look back on the delays, look back on the games that actually came out, see what we had to show for. Wonder why Final Fantasy VII Remake, how did it end up being the game of the year? It's gonna be game of the year. I don't know, but that's my game of the year already. I haven't played it, but there's nothing else that I'm really super excited about that I think is going to be able to beat that as far as game of the year. Like, I don't, there's Cyberpunk can probably do it, but it's not, a game that I'm too worried about playing. I would even, if I had to pick between Final Fantasy and Cyberpunk, I can only pick one. Of course, I'd pick Final Fantasy. I mean, that's my thing. Even though Cyberpunk and Final Fantasy have one thing in common. They've both been in development for years, like 5, 6, 7 years, man. And they're both about to come out, and they're gonna go out and duke it out, man. We're gonna see. It's gonna be cool to see which one comes out on top when they finally do come out. But Final Fantasy only till April, Cyberpunk till September. Man, hopefully this is the end. If Animal Crossing gets delayed, I think there's going to be the internet is going to explode. That one will be hard, especially because it'll be the second time. That's all I have to say right now about Delaygate 2020. That's what I'm calling it, at least. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. Let me know in the comments which of these games you're most upset about being delayed, and what you plan on playing for the first half of 2020 or the first 3 quarters of 2020. Let me know in the comments. Tell me what's up. Tell me why you think Final Fantasy is going to be game of the year. I'm just messing around. But tell me what you think is going to be game of the year, what you're looking forward to in this year. If you want to get a PlayStation 5 or the new Xbox, which one you want to get. Like this video if you like it. If you don't like it anyway, because I said so. Follow me on Twitter at NearsightedGamer, Facebook.com/NearsightedGamer, Instagram.com/the_Nearsighted_gamer. I can't thank you guys enough for watching. Really appreciate it. Games getting delayed, man. What the heck? If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so. It'll take like 2 seconds. See? All right, guys. That's been all. I guess all that's left to say is, as always, be excellent to each other. See you, pupils.